Good afternoon, and welcome to this virtual 6th Advanced GMP workshop organized by the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance. The FDA India office is excited to be a part of this workshop and provide opening remarks for it. My name is Dr. Sarah McMullen, and I'm the director of the FDA India office. It is my pleasure to be here with the representatives from multiple regulatory agencies, industry, academic representatives, and research personnel from pharmaceutical companies. This workshop brings together many key partners in the world of pharmaceutical industry and regulators. As the world has become more interconnected, the need for coordinated responses to shared global public health threats has increased drastically. Patients depend on us, consumers depend on us, and a large portion of the economy depends on us. The events of the past almost 2 years highlights the need for a strong, vibrant medical product industry to achieve our shared goal: safe, effective, high quality drugs, vaccines, and medical products. In the next 3 days, you will hear from multiple subject matter experts as they share their experiences, knowledge, and insights on some of the most relevant pharmaceutical topics. Thanks to the power of technology, we are able to meet together from across the globe. In these opening remarks, I'll provide a high-level overview of the FDA, FDA's India office, and briefly highlight some of the agency's response to COVID-19. FDA protects the public health by assuring the safety, effectiveness, and security of medical products. The agency is also responsible for the safety and security of the nation's food supply, cosmetics, dietary supplements, products that give off electronic radiation, and tobacco products. As you can see, FDA is responsible for a vast array of products. FDA-regulated products account for 20 cents of every dollar of annual spending by U.S. consumers, or approximately $2.8 trillion. The agency has approximately 17,000 full-time employees located around the world and has a projected FY22 budget of about $6.5 billion. This is equivalent to approximately $10 per American per year. About 55% of FDA's budget is provided by federal budget appropriations, and the remaining 45% is paid for by industry user fees. The U.S. relies heavily on imported food and medical products to meet our domestic demand. The FDA-regulated products are imported to the United States from over 136,000 foreign facilities from more than 150 countries. In this slide, we have a graphical representation of FDA-regulated U.S. import lines for fiscal year 2019 to 2020 from all countries versus India. An import line refers to a distinct product in a shipment. A single shipment may include multiple import lines. Compared to other countries, India can be seen to have high proportions of foods and drugs exported to the U.S. Medical devices and human foods have the highest overall volume of import lines. The trend is similar for imports from all countries versus India. Please note that for medical device import line, the import line numbers are high as individual components within a kit or grouping are declared individually. As many may be aware, India has the largest number of FDA-registered drug manufacturing facilities outside the U.S. India is one of the largest exporters of drug products to the U.S., with Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Telangana being the leading states for FDA-registered drug manufacturing facilities. This slide shows the total number of FDA-registered pharmaceutical firms in India for each fiscal year. Please note that a fiscal year begins on 1st of October of the previous calendar year and ends on 30th of September of this current calendar year. These numbers include active pharmaceutical registrations from CDER's catalog of manufacturing sites. CDER's catalog of manufacturing sites is the curated list of registered sites vetted by the FDA as legally manufacturing human drugs for the U.S. market. Thus, not all human drug registrants qualify as manufacturers in the catalog. These numbers may also vary at any given time in the year, as firms can register and deregister at any time. This slide shows the total number of abbreviated new drug applications that were submitted by different countries to FDA. India not only leads on the number of FDA-registered drug manufacturing facilities outside the U.S., it also leads in the number of submission of ANDAs. As you can see from the slide, the most ANDAs were received from India, followed by the U.S. and China. As India is one of the leading nations exporting medical products and foods to the U.S., the USFDA established an in-country presence in 2008. The India office serves as the lead FDA presence in country. The mission of the office is to help ensure the safety, quality, and effectiveness of medical products and food produced in India for export to the United States. The India office consists of leadership positions including a country director, deputy director, and supervisory consumer safety officer. We have consumer safety officers, or CSOs, who perform inspections for drugs, bioresearch monitoring, and food. We also have commodity-specific international relations specialists and product safety coordinators who work with our Government of India counterparts and FDA headquarters in policy areas. In addition to this, we have administrative staff who handle the administrative needs of the office. Some of the India office's goals include developing a deeper knowledge about India's regulatory environment, better understanding the capacity of India's national and state regulators, learning about the intersections between India's regulators and regulated industry, identifying and analyzing emerging trends and issues that may impact FDA's regulatory decisions about India products entering the US market, assessing the general safety of India's medical product and food exports to the US, increasing Indian regulator and industry knowledge of FDA legal requirements, and finally, conducting inspections of FDA-regulated products intended for the US. Here in India, the majority of the inspectional work is drugs and pharmaceutical quality, bioresearch monitoring or clinical trials, and foods. FDA conducts several types of these commodity-specific inspections to help protect consumers from unsafe products. Examples include a pre-approval inspection after a company submits an application to FDA to market a new product, a routine inspection of a regulated facility, for-cause inspections to investigate a specific problem that has come to FDA's attention. The FDA is committed to working in many ways to protect the nation's public health during the COVID-19 pandemic. While FDA's response spanned many commodity areas, I'll focus on efforts undertaken by our Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, our FDA India office, and our Office of Regulatory Affairs. CDER, who's responsible for the regulation of drug therapies, engaged in many activities to support much of FDA's work during this unprecedented time. CDER's key priorities during this public health emergency included making safe and effective drugs to treat COVID-19 patients available as soon as possible, monitoring the nation's supply of medicines and taking action to mitigate or prevent drug shortages, working to help ensure the health of all patients. The following is a snapshot of CDER's response to COVID-19 for the first year of the pandemic, so January of 2020 through February of 2021. Some of the highlights include, for COVID-19 therapeutic development, as of February, there were over 420 trials that were reviewed by FDA, 8 treatments that were authorized for emergency use, 1 treatment that was approved for use by FDA, and more than 22 guidance documents for industry related to therapeutic development. Regulatory flexibility. CDER proactively issued temporary policies to address the pandemic and provide regulatory flexibility on certain drugs compounded for hospitalized patients with COVID-19 and compounding and manufacturing of alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Addressing fraud. FDA took action against sellers of fraudulent products for the treatment or prevention of COVID-19 and issued more than 100 warning letters, including warning letters issued to firms in India. Internet pharmacies. FDA issued 14 warning letters to operators of websites that sold unapproved and misbranded COVID-19 products. Hand sanitizers. FDA published a list of more than 200 listings of hand sanitizers consumers should not use, including those containing potentially dangerous contaminants. Shortage mitigation activities. FDA continued outreach to more than 180 manufacturers relating to manufacturing capacity and supply chain for both COVID-19 and non-COVID-19 treatments. Engagement with stakeholders. CDER alone fielded over 18,000 COVID-19 related drug inquiries from the general public, including healthcare providers, consumers, and manufacturers. The COVID-19 pandemic required the FDA to rework our typical operations in order to carry out our public health mission while protecting our workforce and the workforces of those we regulate. In response to the challenges to on-site inspections presented during the global pandemic, and in preparation for such future emergencies, FDA implemented remote regulatory assessments to assess a firm's compliance with certain regulations and conformance with application submissions where appropriate. For pharmaceutical firms, Section 704A(4) of the FD&C Act was leveraged to request and review records. Although these were not considered inspections, certain regulatory decisions were made possible through these reviews. Due to the audience of this forum, I'll limit my discussion to efforts in the pharmaceutical area, but would like to note remote regulatory assessments are possible for other FDA-regulated commodities, such as food. A few more details on 704A4 assessments. 704A4 assessments enable the FDA to evaluate a facility's compliance with the FD&C Act through a review of records in correspondence with the responsible agent at a firm. Use of this authority is not limited to the duration of the COVID-19 public health emergency. If concerns are found during an assessment, FDA will inform the facility, and the facility is encouraged to make corrective actions. One of the other tools FDA is implementing is remote interactive evaluations, or RIEs. RIEs are interactive and may include virtual tools such as pre-recorded video or live stream video. A review of records and other information, such as electronic systems, requested under 704A4 or voluntarily provided by the firm may be part of an RIE. A remote interactive evaluation is not equivalent to an inspection and does not require the issuance of an FDA Form 482 or 483. Currently, the guidance only applies for the duration of the COVID-19 public health emergency and is limited to pharmaceutical products, including sites covered under FDA's Bioresearch Monitoring Program and outsourcing facilities registered under Section 503B of the FD&C Act. My colleague from our Office of Regulatory Affairs will be covering this topic in detail in an upcoming session. FDA's India office has implemented CommoditySpecific Listservs to better serve our stakeholders. We use these listservs for pushing notifications about conferences, webinars, relevant guidances, and other FDA-related issues. To sign up for the listserv, please go to FDA's subscription management website. We also maintain an electronic mailbox to assist stakeholders in navigating FDA's regulations. In closing, I'd like to come back to emphasizing that as the world has become more interconnected, there is a critical need for coordinated responses to shared global public health threats and emergencies, as is evidenced by the current pandemic. Providing patients access to high quality, safe and effective therapies, vaccines, and other medical products requires coordination and collaboration with all stakeholders. We must continue to build on our current efforts. I look forward to the coming sessions and hearing of the efforts in India in this endeavor. Thank you for your time and attention.